Wait a minute, I told you, stay away from me. You are not my father.
Great ball game coming up today. Star Wars Day. Astros and Twins. Keuchel's Corner. Stay tuned. Baseball is next.
We got Astros baseball on this Sunday afternoon at Minute Maid Park. The Astros and the Twins wrapping up a three-game series here. The series on the line today. The Astros will try to win it behind Dallas Keuchel, who will try to remain unbeaten at home so far this year. Hi, everybody. Welcome into Minute Maid Park. I'm Bart Ennis. Alan Ashby and Bill Brown will be joining us in just a moment. But the Astros trying to shake off a tough defeat last night, 3-2. They had a chance to tie or take the lead in the ninth. But Jose Altuve's line drive was caught by Byron Buxton in center field to end the game. So today they'll try to shake it off and get back out there and win this series. Now, one bright spot for the Astros last night was Carlos Correa, and he is our TXU Energy power player of the game. Irvin Santana was really dealing for the Twins last night, just as he did in Minnesota last weekend. But Correa had an answer for him. He had 3 hits off Santana last night. They pitched him away most of the night. And Carlos did what he's been doing all year, which is just go with the pitch. He hit one up the middle. He hit a couple of singles to the opposite field. And it was all working for him. Now, if you recall, Carlos and Byron Buxton were the top 2 picks of the 2012 draft. And last night was the first chance we had to see them going head-to-head on the field at the same time. When the Astros were up there last weekend, Buxton was nursing a hamstring injury and missed the series. There you see their numbers. Carlos obviously a little bit ahead of Buxton offensively, but Buxton showing great athleticism and speed in that outfield for the Twins. We're going to see a lot of these 2 guys in the years to come, and A.J. Hinch says that's good for the game.
It's great for the game when youth is inserted into our game. It creates a lot of buzz. It creates a lot of notoriety. I mean, you know, these guys can't walk around their home cities without them knowing that part of the franchises are on their shoulders, and both of them seem to absorb that very, very well. I can speak on our guy that he really embraces, you know, being that type of fixture in an organization at an early age.
So if Carlos keeps it going today and Dallas Keuchel does his thing at Minute Maid Park, the Astros hopefully can take the series. Will the force be with them today? Brownie and Ash will be back to talk about that in just a moment.
Are about to play a very important game as these folks come in with their costumes all set to go in the spirit of things. The Astros are hoping the force is with them. Ash, last night a tremendous ball game. The Twins won it, but the Astros and Twins really battled right down to the end last night.
Yeah, it was a tremendously dramatic ninth inning that saw the Astros come up short, both teams needing these W's.
And the Twins, of course, were able to get in front and then hold on, and here's how they did it in the ninth inning.
Eddie Rosario hit this ball down the right field side. George Springer normally makes this play. I think we can all fairly say that, but obviously the ball gets away, two-run score. The Twins take a 3-1 lead. It didn't look good for the Astros, but they start out the ninth inning picking up a home run out of their leadoff man, Jed Lowry, and it winds up with the bases loaded, 2 outs. Jose Altuve trying to walk one off for the 4th time this year, but Byron Buxton comes up with a big play in center field, and the Twins hang on.
The Astros haven't played a lot of home series down through the years against the Twins, but they have never won a home series from Minnesota, and now Mr. Success at home. Dallas Keuchel will go out today for the series.
3 times the pitcher of the month in the American League this year, 16-game winner, trying to become the first man in the American League to win 17 on the year. He comes in having won 3 straight. Dallas Keuchel just pitching great baseball since August 1st, 4-1, and you saw the numbers. ERA under the 2 mark. Dallas Keuchel has been, we think, better than anybody on the mound as a starter this year in the American League.
Coming up, Stroll Wars. The Astros and Twins have both staged a rebellion against the baseball empire this season, but only one will win the battle in this series. Can Keuchel and the Astros restore order to the galaxy with another home win? We'll find out next. $15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. By Woodlands Church, a big church makes a big difference. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Nobody said winning was easy. And the Astros are finding out that the path to a pennant has many obstacles. The Twins have a Cinderella story of their own to tell and are fighting the Astros tooth and nail for the rights to a storybook ending in 2015. But all season long, the Astros have answered the challenge at home, and they have their #1 problem solver on the mound today. Can the Astros be the authors of their playoff fate? The road continues right now. And it's the final game of the homestand here on Root Sports at Minute Maid Park. The Astros and the Twins. Final game as well of this season series. The Astros trying to get a split of this homestand. They lost 2 of 3 to Seattle. They have split the 2 so far with Minnesota. And there is Keuchel's Corner, brand new T-shirts to celebrate the Star Wars occasion today. Today's Key to the Game is brought to you by your Houston area Chevy dealers. The Astros on target now for their second best home ERA in the Minute Maid Park era since 2005, and that was a much celebrated pitching staff in 05. Ash.
And of course 2005 led the team to the World Series that year. They were pretty good on the other side of the ball as well, but the likes of Colin McHugh and of course with Dallas Keuchel, and you can mix in how about Lance McCullers, some of the guys that have done so well on the starting pitching staff, and they have been brilliant, and they are the reason for that big run differential lead that you talked about again yesterday for this club that has helped them mount that lead. 2 games right now in the American League West.
Now as Dallas Keuchel goes to the mound, his record at home is 12-0. His ERA is 1.35.
Fantastic stuff. Overall, best ERA in the American League. 16 wins, tied for the best. So he would like to take that lead with a 17th win today as he opposes these Minnesota Twins.
Here's their starting lineup. Aaron Hicks in left field. Brian Dozier at second base. Joe Mauer at first base. Miguel Sano the DH. Trevor Plouffe at third base. Torrey Hunter in right field. Eduardo Escobar the shortstop. Kurt Suzuki the catcher. Byron Buxton in center field. Their pitcher will be Houston native Tyler Duffy. Keuchel's Corner all set to go with Chewbacca and the gang. And it's Aaron Hicks, the switch-hitting left fielder, ready to go as well. Taking ball 1 from Dallas, a .268 hitter with 8 homers, 25 runs batted in. Hicks is 2 for 8 against the Astros this season.
Were those some of the recent call-ups we saw down there with Keuchel?
Yeah, they'll be on the plane with you. Fly ball to right field for Colby Rasmus. And it's out number 1.
Okay, we'll look at the guys we do know right now as we look at the defense. Marwin Gonzalez gets the start in left. Carlos Gomez in center, and Colby Rasmus with the play in right field. Left side of the infield, Jed Lowry and Carlos Correa on the right. Jose Altuve and Luis Valbuena. And behind the plate, Mr. Grand Slam, Hank Conger.
Brian Dozier steps up and looks out at an infield shift. And he fouls back a high pitch for strike 1. Dozier is 4 for 19 against Astros pitching this season. He is 1 for 8 in this series, an all-star this year. Last year he hit 23 homers, and he has furthered that with the 26 bombs this season for Dozier. Broken by looper. Correa is waiting to catch out number 2.
Apparently the ball's not carrying as Correa had to catch that down toward the knees.
Well, they like that start for Dallas. He has the first 2 quickly, and now it's Joe Mauer, the 3-time batting champion. Mauer has gone 5 for 15 this season against Houston pitching. At .269, he has 8 homers, 56 runs batted in for Mauer. Mauer takes it. There's strike 1. Fielden Culberth is the home plate umpire. Mauer had 2 hits Friday night, 0 for 3 with a walk in last night's game. Joe's now 32 years old. He was the first player drafted in the 01 draft. Fouls that one away. No balls, 2 strikes. The Twins will head on to Kansas City and play their first place rivals in a 3-game set. They are 12 games behind the Royals, but only 1.5 behind Texas for the second wild card spot. Keuchel missing, goes to a 1-2 count. Keuchel has made 2 career appearances against the Twins with a 1-1 record, a 1.17 ERA. He has not faced them this season. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Twins have won all 4 series they've played in Houston. They are 9-5 at Minute Maid Park. Gomez well over into left center field. Mauer's out on a breaking ball. Strikeout number 1 for Keuchel. Gets him through a 1-2-3 first. Now due up against Tyler Duffy. Jose Altuve, Jed Lowry, Carlos Correa in the bottom of the first. Work with their beards strapped on. The Astros starting lineup is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Jose Altuve leads it off at second base. It's Jed Lowry at third. Carlos Correa batting third, plays shortstop. The cleanup man is DH Evan Gattis. With Colby Rasmus in right field, Carlos Gomez at center, Marvin Gonzalez in left today. Luis Valbuena plays first base, and it's Hank Conger doing the catching.
And on the mound for the Minnesota Twins, local product, attended Rice University. 5 starts in his major league career now for Tyler Duffy. 5th-round pick back in 2012. Went to Bel Air High School where they produced so many fine young players.
Jose Altuve leads the American League in hits with 164. His .312 batting average is tied for 5th. He takes a high one, and it's ball 1 for Duffy. Altuve has 24 doubles to go with his 11 homers, driving in 55, and on the homestand, 6 for 19. Kloof takes care of out number 1 for Duffy.
Defensively for the Twins this afternoon, speed in the outfield, Aaron Hicks, Byron Buxton, and Torrey Hunter. Left side of the infield, Trevor Plouffe. You just saw him, Eduardo Escobar in short. On the right side, Brian Dozier and Joe Mauer. Kurt Suzuki, the veteran, makes his 3rd start behind the plate this series.
Jed Lowry is 4 for 6 in this series with a homer. Strike 1 to the Jedi Warrior. 252, 7 homers, 22 runs batted in. 20 runs batted in, rather.
Worked that right in there, didn't you?
Why not? Got to get in theme here today, eh? He rips one foul, and it's 0-2. It's been fun today to see people come out early in their costumes, really celebrating the whole Star Wars extravaganza. And Jed has made people pay attention to his homestand, going 9 for 7 with 2 homers, 3 runs batted in. Good photos. Duffy gets a strikeout, and he has the first 2 outs quickly. Duffy, in his last start against the White Sox, lasted 4 2/3 innings, giving up 3 runs. Well, they've changed their garb a little bit. They took off the headgear and put on Astros caps. Carlos Correa looks out at the right-hander Tyler Duffy, who's listed at 6'3", 222. Carlos is 6'4", taking ball 1. 279 for Carlos, 16 homers, 46 runs batted in. He is 3 for 8 in this series with an RBI. He's hit 300 on the homestand. Looks at the breaking pitch, And it's 2-0. First time through the order, Duffy has held the hitters to a batting average of 146.
He strikes out his share too. That strikeout number 23 in just 26 innings for him.
2-1. The Twins got a shot in the arm from Irvin Santana last night. 8 innings of 6-hit 1-run baseball. They beat the Astros 3-2. Santana beating the Astros for the second time in about 8 days. The Astros won 8-0. Colin McHugh shutting down the Twins for 7 2/3 Friday night. So we've had well-pitched games from the winners in each of those series. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the Astros now with a 2-game lead on Texas. Woke up this morning to a 74-62 record. The Rangers are 71-63, 1 game different in the loss column. Breaking ball, strike 3 call. Correa standing there at home plate disbelieving. Both pitchers buzzsaws in a 1-2-3 first. The beard is strong today. No score.
We're very disappointed that Jose Altuve could not drive in the game winner. They were in a tough spot because in the top of the 9th, Eddie Rosario hit a ball to right field that George Springer gave chase to but could not come up with. And that brings us into our Geico quote of the day. After the game last night, George said, quote, "It's just a play I got to make." We've seen George make so many great plays in the outfield over the course of this season that he clearly has reason to believe he should have and could have made that play. He was lobbying to get back into the lineup today, hoping for some atonement after going 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts and then not making that play. But A.J. Hinch said, nope, we're going to be cautious and careful with him and keep him out as scheduled. Guys, back up to you.
Thanks, Bart. All along, this was a planned day off for George Springer. And he is set to play all 3 games in Oakland. That's the plan. That was strike 1 to Miguel Sano. And it's 1-1 to Sano, a .287 hitter with 15 homers, 42 runs batted in an outstanding rookie year with a .596 slugging percentage for Sano. Now it's 1-2 as Dallas Keuchel goes after him. Keuchel and King Felix Hernandez are tied for the league lead in wins with 16.
I have a feeling there are going to be a few more bearded supporters here coming up very quickly.
He chased that one and struck out. That's 4 in a row for Keuchel. They're doing a brisk business on those Keuchel shirts.
Meanwhile, those fans seeking those shirts are missing the work of Dallas Keuchel.
But there's still a lot of orange there. Room for a few more to fit in. Trevor Plouffe steps up. And ball 1 to Plouffe with 18 homers, 73 runs batted in, a .241 batting average. He is 1 for 11 against Houston pitching this year. That catches the edge, and it's 1-1. The Twins are 28-39 on the road. The Astros are 47-24 at home. And this is the deciding game of this series. Seattle won 2 of 3 before Minnesota came in. The Astros lost the previous series in Minnesota, so they've had consecutive series setbacks, dropping 4 of the last 6 prior to going 1-1 here. In for a strike, 2-2. On the road to Oakland next. As Ash mentioned, there's a day game to start the road trip tomorrow. That's a 3:07 start Houston time. Chop foul. It'll be Mike Fiers and Felix Doubront tomorrow for the pregame show at 2:30. And back to night baseball Tuesday night. Scott Kazmir, the former Oakland A, and Sonny Gray. And it'll be Aaron Brooks pitching for Oakland Wednesday. The Astros TBA on the list. Breaking pitch. Plouffe did go around, and he's just standing there looking down at the first base umpire, Manny Gonzalez, who rung him up.
Trevor Plouffe stood and stared, shook his head no, while down at first base, Gonzalez nodded his head yes. From that line, you can certainly see the bat goes through the plate. Just assortment of sinking fastballs, the changeup, the slider, or breaking ball as Dallas calls it.
Torrey Hunter now. Ground ball hit between Valbuena and the bag, picked up by Rasmus in right field, and Hunter just took it the other way, becomes the first Minnesota base runner.
We'll look now at our strike zone presented by MD Anderson as Dallas works that outside edge, and still Torrey Hunter with the response here, shooting it down the line.
Hunter had been 0 for 7 against Keuchel until that swing of the bat. He's aboard for Escobar now. Eduardo, a switch hitter, carries a .263 batting average. He looks at strike one. Escobar's 1 for 7 this weekend. 26-year-old shortstop. Twins are pretty happy with the work that he's done at that position this year. Keuchel moves him off the plate, and it's 1-1. Dallas is 27 years old, from the University of Arkansas. He was a 12-game winner last year. Had a 2.93 ERA a year ago. He gets a foul ball there, and it's 1-2. And now, as you mentioned, Ash, he has the best ERA in the American League, 2.24. He's third in innings pitched, tied for the lead in wins with 16 as he goes deep into the season.
Hard to imagine that anybody would consider somebody else right now maybe the leader in terms of who might win the Cy Young Award.
He started and he went. Escobar strikes out. That's 4 punch outs for Keuchel. No runs, a hit, and a man left. 2 up for the Astros in the second. The force is with Evan Gattis. We'll see. And Colby Rasmus. And Carlos Gomez coming up.
as we move to the bottom of the second. Hey, grab your boots, belt buckles, and cowboy hats and head out to Minute Maid Park for the Boot Scootin' Barbecue on September the 19th. All you need is a valid ticket to the game to enjoy a pregame street festival, barbecue contest, and lots of great country music. For more information, go to astros.com/bbq. And suddenly I'm hungry, guys.
It's about that time. It's about an hour after lunch. Thanks, Bart. Evan Gattis takes the first pitch. It's ball one from Tyler Duffy, who began the season at Double-A for the Twins.
For a second there, I thought Julia was back.
In for a strike, 1-1. Well, she will be back. She'll make the flight with you guys. Gattis with 73 runs batted in, has 22 homers. Yeah, it was Double-A Chattanooga where the season began for Tyler Duffy. And then he was promoted to Triple-A Rochester May 22nd and moved up to the Twins in early August. Off the plate there, and it's 3-1. And in his first major league start August 5th at Toronto, he lost. He went 2 innings, gave up 6 earned runs, but then he came up with a win against Cleveland. A beautiful game. Off the plate, 6 innings of 1-hit shutout ball in his first major league win August 15th. There's a walk to Gattis.
He's trying right now, at least on Evan Gattis, to take advantage of that outside corner, as maybe he's been watching Dallas Keuchel.
Erwin Santana lived on that corner last night to right-handed hitters.
It's fantastic. If the guys swung, it seemed to be off the corner. When they would take it, it would be right there called on the corner.
Colby Rasmus at .230 with 18 homers has 48 runs batted in. Duffy delivers, and it's strike one. Duffy was drafted in the 5th round by the Twins in 2012 after his career at Rice. With the Owls from 2010 through 2012. MVP of the Conference USA Championship in 2011. And for a strike, 0-2. His fastball averages about 90. He got a shot at joining the rotation with Phil Hughes going on the disabled list. Batting average against Tyler Duffy is .265 in the majors. Rasmus strikes out. That's the 3rd strikeout for Duffy.
Second left-hand hitter to go down swinging on a breaking ball.
Carlos Gomez takes a look down at Gary Pettis. Steps into the box. .213 with the Astros. 2 homers, 10 runs batted in. 4 for 17 on the homestand. Duffy graduated from Bel Air High School in '09, one of the nation's top prep prospects by collegiate baseball that year. Gomez wasn't biting, and it's ball one to him. Duffy was a 3-time first-team All-District 25A selection. He was the closer with the Rice Owls in 2012. 2-0.
Boy, he's trying to pick at that outside edge. A little muttering followed the ball call on pitch 1.
Anthony Rendon was one of Duffy's teammates at Rice. He's with Washington. 3 balls, no strikes. Tony Cingrani, now with Cincinnati, was a Rice Owl then. And a current Twins farmhand. AT HOU also there. Chris Young came from Bel Air High School, as well as Jose Cruz Jr., Chuck Knobloch. Gomez takes, it's a strike. 3-1. On this day in Twins history in '02, Brad Radke pitched a shutout. He shut out Oakland, and that snapped the A's 20-game winning streak. The Shortstop goes out. Escobar into shallow left center field and calls for it. 2 outs. Duffy got in on the hands of Gomez. And Marwin Gonzalez comes to the plate. A.J. Hinch has been putting together a lot of different lineups this year. Now with these September call-ups giving him extra players, Marwin continues to get starts in left field. 272, 9 homers, 31 runs batted in for Marwin Gonzalez. And why not?
His bat is tough to keep out of the lineup.
That's right. Marwin's 3 for 12 on this homestand. 2 for 4 last night. He stole a base, scored a run. He looks at the off-speed offering for strike 1. Luis Valbuena is on deck. Tampa Bay leads the Yankees 3-0. They're in the top of the 6th at Yankee Stadium. With Toronto in front of Baltimore 6-0 in the 4th. In for a strike, and quickly it's 0-2 to Margot. The Astros last night were held to 8 hits and 2 runs. The Twins winning at 3-2. Kevin Jepson got the save. Byron Buxton should have gotten a part of a save with that catch to end the game. And a strikeout. Number 4 for Duffy. Keeps this game scoreless through 2.
Experience with an Astros luxury suite right here at Minute Maid Park. Call the Astros premium ticket line at 1-877-9-ASTROS and reserve your luxury suite today.
An excellent place to watch a ball game. Bart would like the food up there. We go to the 3rd inning. 0-0. Dallas Keuchel versus Kurt Suzuki. Both of these catchers are catching all 3 games of this weekend series. Suzuki and Conger. Suzuki, a .244 hitter, has 4 homers, 43 runs batted in. He's 1 for 5 with a walk this weekend. And a strike 1. But Ash, you've been through a few pennant races. You get to this stage of the season, and it's not time for a rest anymore. Everybody's grinding.
It really is not. I think you could drive yourself more crazy on a day off. I imagine today for George Springer is going to be he's going to expend more energy trying to figure out what to do not playing than if he is playing.
Carlos Correa takes care of out number 1.
And now our Houston Methodists get to know Dallas Keuchel. Or what the back of his jersey looks like anyway. You see there's a beard, and it's a heck of a beard. Favorite movie, Mr. Brooks? Teammate with best dance moves. That would be Dallas himself. We'll have to see a little bit of that. Go-to karaoke song, anything but Britney Spears.
Okay. That leaves plenty of room.
Sounds like a bit of a bias there.
Byron Buxton takes strike one. He had a phenomenal catch to end the game last night on the Altuve line drive. Now he shoots one deep to left field. Marwin Gonzalez back on the run. Good play by Marwin for the second out. He has not played a lot of outfield this year.
But when he does, it looks very routine, doesn't it? A guy that's known for not having great speed, therefore not a ton of range at shortstop, and still you see him go into the gap quite nicely.
He took off. Nice jump for him. 2 outs now, and it's Aaron Hicks batting. Hicks led off the game with a fly ball to right. Keuchel has 22 quality starts this year. Nobody has more in the American League. There's ball one. He has gone at least 6 innings, 38 starts in a row. Top streak in the majors now. It's 1-1.
Doing a great job starting that breaking ball right in the same slot where he's starting the fastball off the outside edge.
In tight. 2 balls, 1 strike. Keichel's working on extra rest. He pitched Monday against Seattle. 7 innings, 1 run. Won the game 8-3. Not chasing. Hicks works the count to 3 balls and a strike now. Three and 2 to Aaron Hicks. The Astros ERA at home since the All-Star break is 2.47. Tops in the majors.
Primary reason they've been able to continue winning.
Swing and a miss, and he came back to strike him out. That's number 5 for Dallas Keuchel. Astronaut Terry Burks joins us in just a moment. Just got back in June from a little trip to outer space. He was the commander of Expedition 43 on the International Space Station. What a tremendous mission. 7 months in space. He has spent a total of 212 days on 2 different space flights. He experience of a lifetime. Terry Burris. And he wore the Astros gear. Great to have you with us, Terry.
Great to be here.
Wow, and you got to throw out the first pitch today, so it's just a theme day with the Star Wars thing today, the way it worked out.
I know that was it was pretty interesting coming here with Darth Vader, Princess Leia.
Well, now that you had a few months to process this whole mission, is it sinking in?
You know, it was funny. The other day I was looking at some video, and it's almost like, was that me? I just can't believe I was actually off of Earth
and you, of course,
in space.
Yeah, you've been a big baseball fan for a long time, so you're looking down from all those miles away and photographing Major League ballparks. Was that your idea?
It was, yeah, it was my idea. I'm a big baseball fan, and that was a lot of fun to try and get them. The ones on the coast are pretty easy, but Kansas City and Cincinnati, the ones in the center of the country can be tough because they blend in.
No doubt you had a lot of time to think about what it would be like up there. Did it? Was it different than your anticipation?
It was a lot different. Yeah, my first flight was on a space shuttle. It was only 2 weeks, and this flight was 200 days. And so you really move to space. You become, someone that lives in space, not on Earth. And it was a big mental adjustment.
And now that you're back, you want to go again?
Every astronaut's. It doesn't matter if you've had 8 flights. The one in front of you is always the most important one. So looking forward to that. How's
that communication on the space station with the Russians?
It was great. It was really nice flying with those guys. They're very friendly, and we really had a good time. Of course, Russian language is not the easiest thing for me, and English is not the easiest thing for them. So we both sides work at the language issue, but it was great.
And Conger, the batter, and you grew up in Maryland, so you've been a big Orioles fan down through the years, correct?
I did. Grew up as an Orioles fan, and I'm a transplanted Astros fan, so those are my 2 teams.
Did you find that any of the folks on the station were sleepwalkers?
Sleep floaters. I wasn't. When I slept, I was sound asleep. It was usually after a long day, and I never noticed if the guys were floating around at night.
Wow, isn't that something? Spacewalk, that whole phenomenon.
Yeah, here's a spacewalk video right there.
Does somebody stay awake all the time to stand guard?
They don't, and we have mission controls watching over us all the time. So someone in Houston is always up, and in Russia also. But we all are on the same schedule, and we kind of all sleep at the same time. So
it's like you shattered one of the lenses on your glasses there.
That was a water ball with an Alka-Seltzer tablet in it, and it was pretty cool.
You find those to be pretty useful?
Water balls are very useful.
Boy, that's something.
Yeah.
That's a different.
That was the last picture I took in space right there. The sunset.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Does tend to give one an appreciation of this planet, right?
It was just amazing to see Earth and kind of look down on creation and see. It's an amazing universe we live in, and it's definitely a unique perspective to see it from space.
How long does it take up there to reach the point where you say, "Ho hum, just another day in paradise"?
It's never boring, but I'll tell you, it takes about maybe a month. The first month, you're getting better every day. You're learning about how to maneuver yourself around in weightlessness and how to, have a daily work day. And after about a month, you're kind of at the peak of your game. But it never gets boring.
What are we continuing to learn by spending time in space?
Well, the science program on the station is actually continuing to get bigger and bigger, and we did a lot of experiments in human physiology and medicine, material science. We're doing some really cool astronomy, astrophysics kind of experiments on the outside of the station. So the science that we're doing there is never ending, and there's always something new. And maybe the more important in the long term is the ability to work with other nations to explore space.
How much are you able to keep tabs on things like pennant races?
One of the best parts about being in space was spring training, and when the baseball season started, it really connected me with Earth. So we get emails, and they would try and ship up. I got to watch you guys on TV a bunch. They ship up Astros games, condensed games. So that was a really cool part of being in space, but getting to be a part of the baseball season.
You're not going to say that continues to motivate you to stay up there, does it?
getting the free Astros game shipped to me. No, there's lots of reasons to go up there, but that was really fun.
Were you afraid that the Astros wouldn't be in first place when you came home?
Well, I wasn't afraid. I knew they would. I mean, everybody knew they wouldn't be, and this has been just the best surprise this year.
True.
And there we go.
Yeah. Hey, you got the Astros their first hit, Terry.
Yeah.
And it's a double from Altuve.
That's a big reason they're in first place right there, standing on second base.
Well, you're going to have to stay up here for a little more karma now as Lowry comes up next.
We had fun in space. I was measuring different distances in Altuve's. I'd say, during docking, the cargo vehicle is 20 Altuve's away, and we had a lot of fun with that.
That's not very far, right?
Tweeting back and forth with Jose. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Back in the 04 and 05 seasons, I came here with my son for just probably hundreds of games, and it was so much fun. And it's that same vibe again.
That is, I think, electric today.
The stadium's packed and a lot of noise.
What's your background to put you in a position to have that shot to go into space?
Everybody has a different background, it seems, but there's doctors, there's engineers, there's a bunch of test pilots, and I'm one of those. Air Force fighter pilot, test pilot. That was my background. And so there's several different paths you can take if you want to be a NASA astronaut.
What's coming next? The space shuttle program shut down. What's next?
The shuttle program is shut down, and of course the space station is our main program right now. But we have a vehicle called Orion that's a capsule, and we're hoping to send it beyond low Earth orbit, start to explore the solar system. So we have a lot to do this century, and it's going to be a busy time for NASA.
Thanks so much, Terry, for joining us. Great to have you aboard.
Thanks, guys. It was good to be here.
You, Terry.
Thanks.
So Tyler Duffy in his return to Houston, first major league start in this city, certainly standing up well against Dallas Keuchel. We move to the fourth inning, and it's Dozier. Brian hit a pop-up shortstop in the first inning. Thanks to Terry Virts for joining us. That's a shot to left. 1-0 Twins. Dozier with number 27 gets the Twins on the board quickly. And Keuchel had not allowed a homer at home since last August until his last start. Now this one by Dozier gives him his 69th run batted in, and the Twins lead it by 1.
Look, looked like he got one of those very rare pitches right through the heart of the plate from Dallas. And it looks like the leadoff fastball, but pretty much grooved it, and that's such a rarity.
And Mark Trumbo ended that stretch for Dallas. 101 1/3 innings at home without a home run, and now in consecutive starts he's given up long balls, both solo And it's Joe Mauer with strike one. Mauer struck out swinging on a breaking pitch in the first inning. 1 ball, 1 strike. But, you know, Robin Roberts, so many other pitchers, Catfish Hunter, who gave up a lot of home runs, it didn't really deter them at all. Sometimes a pitcher would say, if I'm going to give one up, if it's a solo shot, it's not that big a deal. Valbuena over to the bag. But the Twins pitchers certainly are putting together some good games against the Astros this year.
Let's take a look now at our Super Mo presented by Mattress Firm. It's a reason Brian Dozier has a bunch of home runs this year. You see it in the swing. Plenty of power. But taking advantage of that pitch through the heart of the plate, probably the key there.
Miguel Sano struck out in the second inning. In the dirt, ball 1 to Sano. Keuchel has allowed 11 home runs total this season. Sano takes it, and it's a 2-ball, no strike count to the rookie. He's been playing with a hamstring strain, and he has been told not to run hard on ground balls. It's 3-0. There's been some commentary about that from critics of that policy. But Sano can hit the ball out of the park and trot around. And for a strike, 3-1. It would be, although people have been critical of Paul Molitor for playing Sano and telling him not to run hard. You have an issue with that at all?
Not a bit. No, as long as Sano's on board with it, and I'm sure he's very willing at this stage of his young career to get in there and take as many big swings as he can. I think the hard part would be in Sano's shoes to listen to fans who start barbing him because he's not running down the line.
Sure. That's strike 3. Beautifully located by Keuchel.
Follow the Astros all season long with MLB.com At Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com At Bat for your smartphone or tablet.
2 outs, and it's Trevor Plouffe. He struck out in the second inning. In for a strike, but to go back to Sano for a moment, that's why the Twins wanted that information out there publicly, so everybody would know, hey, this guy is not dogging it. We have told him not to run hard. And that gets the player off the hook. 1 ball, 1 strike. It would be difficult for them to put together a lineup without Miguel Sano with a contending club here in September this year.
Even with the great power of Brian Dozier, Sano is the monster bomber.
Correa throws out Plouffe. Dozier's home run makes it 1-0 Twins in the 4th.
This player played for all 4 New York teams, the 4 teams that originated in New York. He had a walk-off hit in a World Series, but he couldn't cap a second World Series walk-off. These are some interesting clues. If you think you know who this is, shoot us a tweet. We'll be back a little bit later in the game to let you know who this Astro is, guys.
All right, now we're curious. All 4 New York teams? Oh, nice. Thank you, Bart. 1-0, the Twins lead it. Astros fans hoping Carlos Correa can get something stirred up here in the bottom of the 4th. Correa struck out looking in the first. He stood at home plate for a moment after the call by Field and Culbreth. And the curve comes in for strike 1. So Duffy finds himself with a 1-0 lead in his first game in his hometown as a major leaguer up against Dallas Keuchel. Throws a strike and it's 0-2. But he's been into this spot in the rotation now of facing top pitchers. 2 starts ago he faced Tampa Bay and Chris Archer. Tap toward shortstop. Here's the charge. Escobar with the throw, not in time. Infield hit by Correa.
What a tool when you've got that speed, can beat out the infield hits, pick up 10, 30 of those a year. Huge difference maker for a team. And Carlos Correa has enough of that speed to make it happen. Just no way to get him here. Obviously had to deal with a tough pitch down and away, but he also took a pitch off the outside corner that was called a strike, likely a ball.
He's on for Evan Gattis, who walked in the 2nd inning. In tight on Gattis. There's ball 1. So Chris Sale of Tampa Bay opposed Duffy 2 starts ago. Or Chris Archer of Tampa Bay, and last time out it was Chris Sale of the White Sox. And now Keuchel. 3 difficult opponents in 3 straight games for Duffy. And the throw goes over. Duffy last year was at Class A Fort Myers, at New Britain, and at Rochester. Coming into this season, he was rated by Baseball America the 16th best Twins prospect. Little roller goes foul. We've talked earlier in the series about their injuries to Phil Hughes and Ricky Nolasco, who had joined the Twins last year, both free agents. This year Irvin Santana came in as a free agent starting pitcher. But now, in an important game in September, it's a rookie being entrusted with trying to give the Twins their 71st win of the year. They've had difficulty getting innings from their starting pitchers. Last night was an exception as Santana went 8, and they needed only the closer Jepson to finish out the game. Two and 1. Rangers beat the Angels last night 2-1 behind Derek Holland, and they will be starting a little bit later today. Yankees now have put together some runs, and they have gone in front of the Rays 4-3 in the top of the 7th. They got 4 in the 6th. Ground ball rolls out to second. Dozier with the flip. There's Escobar up and over, and it's a double play. Will be Rasmus will follow. Colby struck out in the 2nd inning. A-Rod hit his 28th homer for the Yankees. Brian McCann, number 25. Kevin Kiermaier blasted number 8 for the Rays. They have Chris Archer on the mound. Ivan Nova started and went 6 for the Yankees. He's now out of the game. With the infield shifted around, there's strike 1 to Rasmus. Just 50 pitches so far for Duffy. No balls, 2 strikes. First time through the order, opponents are hitting 146 against Duffy. Second time 219. Third time 524. In the dirt, and it's 1-2. Ten-game road trip starting for the Astros tomorrow in Oakland. 3 in Oakland, 3 in Anaheim, 4 in Texas for A.J. Hinch's club, which went 3-3 on its last trip. It's 2-2. A.J. was talking about his experiences managing Arizona at the tail end of the season and how many things are unpredictable, especially when playing non-contenders. Fouled, and you know, his phrase was, sweep your own front porch, don't worry about somebody else's. So if you're talking about a team like Lloyd McClendon's Seattle Mariners, and A.J. brought out this point, Seattle just winning 2 of 3 from Houston earlier this year, playing some rookies along the way and having success, and those rookies had big games. Even though Felix Hernandez was skipped in the rotation when the Mariners were here, so that might lead some to think on the part of the Texas Rangers or the Los Angeles Angels, well, you know, they'd be critical that Seattle didn't play its best players against Houston. It worked out well, and that's the unpredictability of it.
Young or old Major League Baseball players can beat you on any day.
They can. Well, this young player, Tyler Duffy, has a 1-0 lead through 4. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by Big Time Bats, the Craig Biggio Louisville Slugger Hall of Fame bat is now available. Call Big Time Bats at 866-490-BATS or see it at bigtimebats.com. 1-0 Twins on a leadoff fourth-inning homer by Brian Dozier. Torrey Hunter gets it started in the fifth inning. He singled to right on the first pitch in the second inning. Princess Leia. There's ball 1. Otherwise known as Christy Feliz.
She's always been a popular sort.
She said the other night that Princess Leia was her favorite character. So she's staying in character. 1 ball, 1 strike. 49 pitches for Keuchel. Astros starters have had a few games like this recently when their offense hasn't done much and they have to hold the line. 1-2, but they were magnificent in the month of August. Astros played lower scoring games in general in August.
Dallas generally working away today, but after Torrey Hunter was able to shoot one down the right field side first at bat, he starts working inside.
That strikes him out. That's number 7. Since 2010, who has the lowest home ERA? Jose Fernandez. Dallas Keuchel is second. Then it's Johnny Cueto, Zach Greinke, and Clayton Kershaw.
Those are some rather glossy numbers, by the way. Jose Fernandez, can he bounce back from that Tommy John surgery all the way?
Well, plenty have. There's strike one. And then the question a lot of people are asking today is, with Matt Harvey having bounced back, why is he willing to be shut down? Apparently he is. Fly ball out to left center field. Marwin heads for it. That ball is blasted. And that's going to be a home run. 2-0 as Escobar hits number 9. That's 43 runs batted in for Escobar. The Twins go up by 2.
Just don't expect this right here in this ballpark by the Minnesota Twins against Dallas Keuchel. That's a young team that believes they can get their way into the postseason.
Playing with a lot of confidence. Kurt Suzuki grounded out to short in the 3rd inning. Suzuki takes ball 1. Dozier hit his 27th, and now Escobar has number 9. Twins have hit 129 home runs compared to the Astros 183. 2-0. Target field, though, has prevented many a home run. That's a spacious ballpark. In the air, and Colby Rasmus is measuring it in right field. Round number 2. The last time Dallas Keuchel gave up more than 1 homer in a game was June 20th at Seattle in a 6-3 loss.
Eduardo Escobar takes that low breaking ball. Not a bad pitch at all from Dallas. And yet sometimes good pitches get hit really hard. And keep in mind, it was Escobar with that shot down the right field side last night in the 9th inning that George Springer couldn't haul in. Turned out to be the big hit of that game.
Byron Buxton bats. Strike to Buxton, the Georgia native. Last night was the first time he and Carlos Correa had played against each other in a major league game. Carlos missed the series in Minnesota with a hamstring strain. 1 ball, 1 strike. Buxton did not play Friday night, but he made that tremendous catch to win the game last night. They were drafted 1-2, as you know, in 2012. Correa 1, Buxton 2. 1-2. Buxton takes ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Twins have now hit 5 homers against the Astros, and the Astros have that same number against the Twins. Struck him out. That's number 8 for Keuchel, and Escobar's home run to left center makes it 2-0 Minnesota in the 5th.
offers incredible savings, such as the all-you-can-eat seats at Minute Maid Park, available every game. This amazing deal scores you a ticket and unlimited ballpark favorites, starting at only $35. For more information, visit astros.com/value, or you can call 1-877-9-ASTROS.
Carlos Gomez, with the Astros trailing 2-0, leads off the home fifth inning. Taking ball one. And Duffy, with this 2-run lead, has allowed just 2 hits. He got a double play ball in the last inning. Gomez, a .328 career hitter against the Twins. It's 2-0 with Gonzalez and Valbuena to follow. Left-handed hitters have been hitting .373 against Duffy. Right-handed hitters .149 through his first 5 major league starts. Curveball makes it 3-0, but today both of the Astros hits have come from right-handed batters. Altuve, a 2-out double in the third. Correa, a leadoff infield hit in the fourth. Duffy brings it in, and it's 3-1. Now a full count. Gomez started to take off for first.
About the same pitch as pitch number 1 in this sequence. You can see number 1 where it is. Let's see where this one winds up. Well, did it catch a seam or two? Maybe.
Foul back. Jose Bautista hit his 33rd homer for the Blue Jays today. They lead it 6-2 right now over the Orioles. They're in the top of the 6th inning. Troy Hawkins in the game right now for Toronto. That's clocked to left field. A breaking ball right up in his wheelhouse, and he heads for second base with a leadoff double. And now he's glad he didn't get that ball for a call. He got double number 6 as an Astro instead.
Well, if you're amongst the group that believes a major league hitter should crush a hanging breaking ball, then Carlos Gomez did what was expected right here. A little bit of a hanger, and he stays back nicely, rakes it down the left side. And you're right. Take those 2 bags anytime.
Leadoff double. The Astros are hoping this will get them kick-started today. That's their 3rd hit. Marlon Gonzalez follows. He struck out in the 2nd inning. Troy Tulowitzki hit his 5th home run for the Blue Jays since the move to the American League in the trade with the Rockies. Kevin Pillar, number 10. Tulo has hit .235 in a Toronto uniform with an OPS of about 700. He has not really lit it up. Gonzalez takes ball 1.
Surprising when you figure that Tulo's one of those guys. I think most people believe that he's a gamer type player, wants to be in the opportunity to win. The Blue Jays certainly have that, and playing in a ballpark like they have in Toronto, certainly on the offensive side of things.
And it's the Blue Jays and the Yankees, as you know, for the AL East. Toronto currently has a 1.5 lead, 1 game in the loss column. So similar to the Astros and Rangers situation in the AL West. The Astros have played 2 games more than the Rangers. We'll have to check the Rangers' schedule to see. Presumably the Rangers are playing next Thursday when the Astros are off. Yes, they are. Okay. So that'll be down to a 1-game differential at that point. 2 balls, no strikes. The big meeting in Arlington coming up at the end of this next road trip. A 4-game series is looming. It's looming very large right now, Ash.
Yep. You know, you still don't want to get to looking forward to that series in Arlington too much, because you've got some big ones in Oakland, in Anaheim, and you witness a ball game like today. You think with Dallas Keuchel on the mound, you're facing the Minnesota Twins. That's all Astros, but it's Major League Baseball, and that means anything can happen.
Two 2-0 to Marwin. Suzuki went out to talk with Duffy. popped up. Dozier. 1 out.
Toyota drive to the playoffs. Coming right here. As you see what's going on, the Astros with that 2-game lead that we've talked about, but just 1 game better in the loss column in front of the Texas Rangers. Angels 5.5 back. They're still in striking range. The wild card at the moment would favor the New York Yankees.
Luis Valbuena grounded out in the 3rd inning. And Conger's on deck. Dozier to his left. Over to Mauer. 2 outs, and Gomez takes 3rd. And it'll be Conger coming up. Rangers don't have an off day until Monday the 21st. So they're going to be grinding it for the next 2 weeks. 17 days in a row without an off day for the Rangers. Conger struck out looking in the 3rd inning. Indians 3, Tigers nothing. Top of the 8th in Detroit. Cody Anderson of Cleveland out pitching Justin Verlander of Detroit. That Cleveland team might really be a spoiler. That's strike 1 for Conger. Indians are 4 games under 500 right now. They're 4.5 behind the Twins. They're probably as tough to beat as a lot of contending teams right now. 1-1. Now the Matt Harvey saga should be most interesting to baseball fans. He's been told by Dr. James Andrews to shut it down after 180 innings. And he intends to comply with that, according to a recent interview.
Manager Terry Collins says, let your arm do the talking. And I guess what he means by that is, if you feel good, go out there and do it. I tend to agree.
1-2 to Conger. Taps that one foul. Conger had the 5 RBI game Friday night. A grand slam in the 4th and RBI single in the 8th inning as the Astros won it 8-0. The word is from media sources who talked with Jeff Luhnow today. Jason Castro could conceivably be back by the series in Arlington, Texas. Conger takes. It's 2-2. Max Stassi is due to catch the day game tomorrow in Oakland.
Well, the Rangers like to run, and you would think having Castro behind the plate would be a plus.
Mike Fiers goes against Felix Dubront tomorrow afternoon in Oakland. Ground ball, and the shift puts Dozier right there. For round number 3. Leadoff double for the Astros, but they did not score. They left Gomez at 3rd. 2-0 Twins after 5.
Now it's time to play Name That Astro. The answer. All right, we gave you the clues. He played for all 4 New York teams, had a walk-off hit in the World Series, couldn't cap a second walk-off World Series hit. The answer is Jose Vizcaíno, one of 3 guys to play for all 4 teams that originated in New York, the Mets, Yankees, Giants, and Dodgers. Had a walk-off hit in Game 1 of the 2000 World Series for the Yankees. And he had a game-tying hit in the bottom of the 9th in Game 2 of the 05 series. Then forgot his cap heading out to shortstop for the top of the 10th. He was a fun guy to have in the clubhouse, guys.
He was. Great guy. I'll tell you a story about him in a moment. Aaron Hicks leads it off in the 6th inning. Hicks is 0 for 2. Strike to Hicks. Vizcaíno's such a good guy. We were in San Diego, it seems, and coming back for the long flight to Houston. And he made sure everybody on the plane had an In-N-Out burger. Line shot goes foul. No balls, 2 strikes.
It seems to be a popular item when the guys head out west.
You ever had one?
Oh, heavens, yes. Yeah.
Well, he purchased many bags of In-N-Out burgers and brought them on the airplane.
Understand that in retirement he has a pretty strong golf game as well.
Strikeout for Keuchel. Geiger throws the ball around as Hicks heads for first base. That's strikeout number 9. Dozier ripped the first pitch in the 4th inning for a homer to left field. He is 1 for 2. He's hit the ball in the air both times. Up the middle, Altuve to his left. And the shift places a pitcher, fielder up the middle, taking care of what would have been a base hit maybe a few years ago for out number 2. Joe Mauer is next. Mauer struck out and he grounded out. Mets lead the Marlins 3-2. They're in the middle of the 7th inning in Miami. Wilmer Flores has gone deep again. 16 home runs for Wilmer Flores. The guy who thought he was traded, and he was crying as he took the field and played second base that night, but he wasn't traded.
Wonder how many times he had to listen to the line, "There's no crying in baseball."
Oh, a few thousand. Joe Mauer looks at ball 1. Steven Matz, the young lefty, is getting the start for the Mets today against former Astro Jared Cozart. Both pitching well. In for a strike. 1-1 on Mauer. Cozart has been troubled by vertigo this year. Has spent some time in the minor leagues. The Mets and Nationals are meeting this week. 2 balls and a strike. Mr. Harvey is due to pitch in that series this week. He is something like 14 innings away from 180 for the year. Fouled away, 2-2. Amazing Bartolo Colon, though, pulled off a behind-the-back play last night. He continues to win games for the Mets. Maybe the Mets can do it without Matt Harvey. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, maybe they could get Seaver to come out of retirement and join Colon. About the same age bracket, right?
Yeah. That's ball 4. Mauer takes a 2-out walk. First of the day for Keuchel. That was his 3rd 3-2 count of the day. Miguel Sano follows. Sano has struck out both times. Red Sox lead the Phillies 6-1. They're in the bottom of the 6th at Fenway Park. David Ortiz hit his 31st home run. Eduardo Rodriguez pitching for them against Jared Eichhoff for the Phillies. Keuchel deals, and it's ball 1 to Sano with Plouffe on deck. That's a beautiful sight. Keuchel's corner filled with orange-clad patrons wearing their beards. Big crowd on a Sunday, including that section there, Keuchel's corner. It's 3-0 to Sano. This should be one of the biggest Sunday crowds of the season. In for a strike, 3-1. There was a whole lot of sports activity on the local front last night. College football games galore in this area. A&M, Houston, Rice all playing at home. A&M here as a home game. 3-2 and putting a lot of people into NRG Stadium. So sports fans were spread out last night. And this is the game in town today and very well attended.
Living evidence of the power of the force.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. That strikeout number 10 for Keuchel. No runs, no hits, and a man left. Keuchel holding the line. 2-0 Twins in the 6th. Lowry and Correa against the rookie Tyler Duffy, who has handcuffed the Astros on 3 hits through 5. And in a big game for the Twins, Duffy is shooting for career win number 3 in the big leagues. Meanwhile, Dallas Keuchel has reached double digits in strikeouts for the 4th time in his career. He has 10. Jose Altuve grounded out to 3rd in the 1st inning. He doubled to left in the 3rd. Tap foul, strike 1. Regarding Scott Feldman, the Astros are waiting for more information on Scott. His right shoulder did not respond well when he played catch yesterday. And skipper A.J. Hinch said that he would not pitch on the 10-game road trip starting tomorrow. Ground ball, and that sneaks by into left field. And deep into the corner, kicks out towards center. A double for Altuve, his 2nd of the day and 26th of the year.
Crazy game. You can hit a little ground ball like that for a double, hit the line drive for the final out last night to center field and wind up having it be the last out of the ball game. Just swing it, try to hit it hard, and take your chances. You see that bat roll right over that baseball.
Sure did. Got it by Plouffe. Jed Lowry's the batter. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a grounder to first. That's ball 1. So A.J. Hinch indicating that the Astros are moving back to a 5-man rotation, and they might stay with that for the rest of the year. Feldman's had right shoulder discomfort, and he will see a doctor later in the week. Lowry swings, and it's 1-1. Houston is 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position today. Astros, though, have some off days coming up. Tony Sipp, who's been having back problems, which could be rib cage related. He's going to play catch the next day or so to see if he can start throwing again. Up the middle, Duffy gets it. We've got a rundown going on Altuve. Altuve wants Lowry to go to second. Lowry does go to second. Altuve's tagged out.
Really good job by Altuve, stretching out that rundown, enabling Lowry to get into second base. But luck of the game sometimes, that bouncer up over the mound looked like it would get on by the hill. See, that positioning didn't look like Duffy'd be able to get there, and yet he makes a nice play.
1-6-5 play, and Lowry gets into second.
And Jed Lowry, while Altuve's doing the right thing, Lowry also doing the right thing, hustling on into the bag.
One runner replaces another at second base. 1 out, and it's Carlos Correa. Correa is 1 for 2, an infield hit to shortstop in the 4th. Taking ball 1. The Nationals lead the Braves 8-4. They're in the top of the 6th inning in Washington. Joe Ross started. Jason Worth hit his 7th home run. Bryce Harper number 34. Anthony Rendon number 4. 1 ball and 1 strike to Correa. White Sox 5, Kansas City 1. They're in the bottom of the 5th at Kauffman Stadium. Correa works the count to 2 balls and a strike.
Astros kind of in a position offensively right now to need a big swing out of their big offensive producers. This guy is obviously one of them.
Fouls it, and it's 2-2 with Gaddis on deck. Johnny Cueto started for Kansas City today, and he got rocked by the White Sox, who lead 5-1 in the 5th inning. Cueto giving up 7 hits and 5 earned runs in 3 innings. Salvador Perez hit his 19th homer. Neil Kotz, a lefty, is working in the pen for the Twins. Astros have out hit the Twins 4-3, but the Twins have solo homers from Dozier and Escobar. Now it's a full count to Correa. Second full count for Duffy. He went 3-2 on Altuve in the 3rd, and Jose hit a double. We heard that Duffy was going to leave about 40 passes for friends today. Roll up the middle. Dozier on to first to get a hustling Correa by a half step. Lowry to 3rd, 2 outs.
Really a case of Duffy making a tough pitch in a big situation there to get the out. Carlos Correa putting out every bit of energy he's got. And you can see how well he runs.
Evan Gattis walked in the second. He bounced into a 4-6-3 double play in the fourth. That's strike one to Gattis with Colby Rasmus on deck. Diamondbacks and Cubs are tied 1-1. They're in the bottom of the fifth inning. Kyle Hendricks going for Chicago against Ruby De La Rosa. Chris Bryant hit his 23rd homer for the Cubbies. Pop back. Suzuki will not have a play on it. It's 0-2. Coming into this game, Duffy had allowed 3 homers in 25 2/3 innings. Oso Blanco has his fans. Started the bat and struck out. Suzuki with the throw to end the 6th inning with strikeout number 7 for Duffy. 2-0 Twins.
Astros season tickets are now on sale. Guarantee your seats for a potential 2015 postseason run by reserving your 2016 season tickets today. Visit Astros.com/season tickets or call 1-877-9-ASTROS.
Big day at Minute Maid Park. You get to dress up and come to a major league game.
Don't bother shaving.
Trevor Plouffe leads it off. He is 0 for 2. 2-0 Twins. Showing bunt, taking strike one from Keuchel, who has whiffed 10 in this game. That's a 78th pitch. Drew Stubbs is now a Texas Ranger. He's leading off for them and playing center field today in Anaheim. Fouled away. Delino DeShields has been playing a lot of center field for that club this year. And it's the Rangers nothing, the Angels nothing. Angels just coming up in the bottom of the first inning. Colby Lewis is pitching for Texas against Hector Santiago. One and two. A lot of fans from Houston probably will consider making the trip to Dallas for that big 4-game series. Tap foul. It's still 1-2. That'll be starting a week from tomorrow night. we're told that Stubbs signed a minor league deal with the Rangers August 24th, so he probably had a few games in Round Rock and then got called up. September recall, probably. In the dirt, and it's 2-2.
Not sure he seems like the ideal leadoff guy for the Rangers right now.
No, he strikes out a lot. He has a lot of power. Good defensive player. Well, these contending teams just keep acquiring players, don't they? 3-2.
Trying to fill needs.
They are. Trying to tweak the roster, especially with the September call-up, and those guys would not be eligible for postseason play, but still might help them get there. Did he swing? The appeal went to first. He checked, and Plouffe drew a walk.
A lot of check swings have gone on through today for Dallas, and this one looked close. Hour peak. That bat clearly gets out now in front of the plate, and for me, that's a swing.
Second walk for Keuchel. Torrey Hunter singled between Valbuena and first base in the second inning. He struck out in the fifth. Keuchel got him on a breaking pitch down and in that time. Showing bunt. Hunter takes, and it's ball one. Hunter didn't hit much at all in the month of August. $37,628 the paid attendance for Star Wars Day at Minute Maid Park. It's 2-0 to Hunter. He has 349 career homers. He's hit .299 in the Twins' wins this year, 144 in their losses. A shot into center field. Plouffe to second base. Gomez comes up with it. First and second, nobody out, as Hunter is 2 for 3.
Wouldn't be surprised in this scenario to see that bunt called upon for Escobar. Try to move two runners.
Infielders meet at the mound. Escobar ripped a homer in the fifth. He's 1 for 2. Angels got a run in the first. They lead the Rangers 1-0 against Colby Lewis. They are still batting in the bottom of the first inning. There's one out. Mike Trout hit his 34th homer. That's been a long home run drought for him.
A lot of strikeouts involved again.
Corner infielders in tight for Escobar. He puts it down, but it's foul. So how do you feel if you've just blasted a ball? A rare home run allowed by Keuchel the previous at bat, and this time you're bunting.
I feel like a pawn, like a piece that the manager tries to move around and help the team the most you can. But yeah, you're right. Didn't you see me swing last time?
Different situation. 2 men on base, nobody out. Try to advance 2 runners in scoring position. He puts it down. Valbuena will go to third, and Lowry's out. Trevor Plouffe wants a review of that play at third base. He's indicating to Paul Molitor that he thought the call was wrong.
Good aggressive play by Valbuena, despite what appeared to me to be an extra step taken here. But 1, 2, yeah, maybe just a little difficulty with the transfer. But I don't know if Plouffe feels like the foot there by the Astros' third sacker is off the bag. Looked like it was where he wanted it.
It looked like it was up against the base. Paul Schreiber with the out call. Surely Plouffe didn't think he beat the throw. There was no chance of that.
Well, he showed that indication right away of off the bag.
Molitor's still waiting for word from his video room.
No, the only way they could change, well, not the only way, but one way that I believe they should change this replay process is just to make the managers, without any help from anybody else, make the decision right here and now.
He's not going to challenge, and they're getting Plouffe off the field now.
And there's the foot that appears to be on the bag. And now comes off. Plouffe didn't see it that way.
No, he didn't. That's out number 1. From 3 to 6, 3 to 5 rather. And Suzuki's the batter with runners at first and second and 1 out. Suzuki's 0 for 2. Fly ball out to Gomez in right center field. He gets behind it for out number 2.
That's really nice. When you anticipate the bunt, it gets laid down. Not a bad bunt, by the way, and you still get the out of the lead runner. And now you move along, get the second out. Keuchel has a chance to get out of the inning without any damage.
Big play. Valbuena did not hesitate. Valbuena, by the way, has the top fielding percentage at third base in the American League this year. But as the first baseman, and as you said, there was a little extra step in there perhaps while he was gripping the baseball.
I have felt that even with all the power from Valbuena this year, his biggest strength to the team has been the defensive play at third.
Ball 1 to Buxton. Buxton's 0 for 2. Ground ball, Correa to his left. Tossing to Altuve for the force. First and second, nobody out, and the Astros put up a 0 on the Twins at the top of the 7th inning. No runs, a hit, 2 men left. God Bless America is coming your way from Minute Maid Park.
It's our Sunday afternoon tradition here at Minute Maid Park when we invite you to join us as we pause, not only to honor our great nation, but to thank and salute those who protect our freedom around the world each and every day. Now, please join us and join Monica Pasley with the
stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above, from the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Gene Elston, 25 seasons with Houston as the lead broadcaster. He brought Major League Baseball on the radio and TV to Houston in 1962 with the Colt 45s. And for 25 years, he gave the fans top-notch broadcasting. Winner of the Ford C. Frick Award winner. And that is the top award for baseball broadcasters in 2006. Passing away yesterday at age 93. 2-0 Twins. Colby Rasmus leads it off. They strike one. He has struck out both times today. Trevor May's working in the bullpen. 88 pitches for the starter, Duffy, in his hometown, shutting out the Astros, who have hit 183 home runs this year, second in the American League. Rasmus with a fly ball, and the center fielder Buxton is back. One out in the 7th inning for Duffy. Carlos Gomez doubled to left in the 5th inning. He is 1 for 2. Marlon Gonzalez comes out to the on-deck circle. Good family day at the ballpark on Star Wars Day.
Yeah, great to see so many show up here this afternoon.
37,628 the paid attendance.
A little home team rally needed.
Gomez fouls at strike one. The home team has collected 3 doubles and a single. Has stranded 2 runners at third base in this game. A total of 4 hits. That's the same total for the Twins. Neither club has made an error. Both clubs have stranded 4 in this game. Foul back, and it's 0-2. So Duffy has really done what the Twins had hoped today. Paul Molitor's young right-hander started at Double-A this season, then had some Triple-A time. Foul ball keeps the count at 0-2. After 1, it's the Angels 1, the Rangers nothing on the Mike Trout homer. Now Neil Kotz is once again throwing in the bullpen for the Twins. Alongside Trevor May. Punched on a line into right center field. On an 0-2 count, Gomez is aboard. He's 2 for 3.
Contrast that swing for Gomez as he goes down and gets the breaking ball. Real tough location and shoots it into right center field versus a lot of the early big swings that just seemed out of control. Still maintains that ability to do a little bat flare flip.
That's hit number 5 for Houston. Marlon Gonzalez is 0 for 2, a strikeout and a pop-up. Escobar and Dozier pinch into double play depth. Kloof off the line at third, even with a bag. That's strike 1.
Breaking ball from Duffy has been elusive all day.
Valbuena's on deck. Gonzalez is a career .333 hitter against the Twins. Yankees lead Tampa Bay 5-4. They're in the bottom of the 8th at Yankee Stadium. It's 0-2. One homestand remaining for the Astros, and it's a long one. Should be a whole lot determined during that homestand. That will start September 18th. 3 with Oakland, 3 with the Angels, 3 with Texas. And that strikeout number 8 for Duffy.
3 straight breaking balls. 3 straight swings coming up with nothing. Well, you get 2 of those and you think, well, do I try a third? Do I make that potentially fatal mistake, but you see great locations on all three of those.
Luis Valbuena has grounded out twice. The 7-8-9 hitters are a collective 0 for 7 with nobody reaching base against Duffy. You could change that on the single to left by Valbuena. Gomez around second, holding there as Valbuena shoots it the other way. 2 men on, 2 outs for Conger.
That's one you'd like to see a whole lot more this year from Valbuena. Just stays back on the breaking ball. We've got some bat flipping action. Not sure who the leader in the clubhouse is right now for the club, but that's pretty hitting.
Paul Molitor has made a change. Duffy leaving this game after 97 pitches, going 6 2/3 innings. And it's 2-0 Twins.
And 1 out. Time now for our AT&T call to the bullpen. As the Twins do turn to the pen, Trevor May comes in, right-hander, who's worked in 38 games. Has picked up 5 holds over the course of the year. ERA just under the 4 mark. And 10 homers allowed. And the Astros are still looking for that first long ball on the afternoon.
Relief outings for May with a 2.02 ERA. A pinch hitter comes up for Hank Conger now. We get a pinch runner as well at first base. Jake Marisnick is running for Luis Valbuena at first. The pinch hitter is Preston Tucker, pinch hitting for Hank Conger. Conger was 0 for 2. Tucker, a .250 hitter, has 12 homers, 32 runs batted in. He has 2 pinch home runs this season, 2 for 6 pinch hitting, with the 2 bombs and 4 runs batted in. Way outside, ball 1. May, who was in the starting rotation, now has been used quite a bit as the setup man. He pitched twice in the White Sox series prior to this one. He pitched twice at Minnesota against the Astros in the series before that. Not close there either, and it's 2-0. Tyler Duffy tied his major league high with 8 strikeouts today in 6 2/3 innings. Jose Altuve's on deck.
How hard is that?
It's 3-0.
do you do with 2 outs? Do you give a guy that's already hit a couple of pinch hit home runs this year the green light to see if he can take advantage of a 3-0? Or do you try to pass the baton?
If you trust him. Ball 4, loads the bases. For Jose Altuve. Altuve homered on May last weekend. The Astros lost the game 7-5. They trailed 7-0. Mounted a furious rally. And Altuve hit the long ball off May. He has 2 doubles in this game, 2 for 3. That was in the 9th inning on Sunday when Altuve took May deep. He misses badly there, and he's thrown 5 straight balls now.
As badly as he missed on that first pitch to Altuve, breaking ball, the inclination generally is to come back fastball because you've got to find the strike zone at some point. And well, that's where, if you're in Altuve's shoes, you just sit dead red.
Altuve lined out to center field with the bases loaded for the final out last night. He is 2 for 2 in his career against May. It's 2-0. 6 straight balls from May. Lowry on deck. Altuve's hitting .330 with men in scoring position this year. He is 2 for 12 with the bases loaded.
Looked like a glance there from Altuve to the dugout. You want me to swing and be aggressive, or do you want me to go ahead and force the count?
2-1.
Looks like the latter won out.
Altuve's a .365 career hitter against the Twins. 2 homers, 9 runs batted in. Fouled it back with a good cut. 2-2.
Heck of a swing. Yeah, you bet. And we talked about it a bit yesterday. Altuve is a guy that has shown that he loves the big moment. He gets the really good swings. It's not the overswing from Altuve. It's just a really good swing, giving himself a chance.
Bouncer towards short, hit slowly. Here's Plouffe, the third baseman, throwing to first, got in time, and Gomez scores. And now it's 2-1. Trevor Plouffe was off balance as he picked up that slow roller, and Altuve beat it out for an infield RBI single. Third hit of the game for Altuve.
You better make a perfect play if you're going to get Altuve when he tops one on the infield. You can see, it's not like Plouffe took a long time to get rid of the ball. And even with a perfect throw, Altuve was going to beat that.
And Joe Mauer saved another run by sprawling out. Great play by Mauer.
Maybe 2.
Yep. Short hop throw, diving backhanded play. Jed Lowry 0 for 3. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Fouls it for strike 1. Casey Fien is warming up for the Twins. Carlos Correa on deck. Tremendous play by Mauer.
Yeah, you really make a great point there, because that's one of those plays that can easily get overlooked. Infield single, Altuve did it, he drove in a run. But you forget about the other side there and the great defense that saved. at least one more run.
Lowry takes it. It's 2-1. Rusnick at third base.
When you're wild, you don't get a lot of calls. And that was one that certainly could have been called.
High drive right field. Jed Lowry has hit a slam. Unbelievable. The force is with him.
That'll wake him up. One big swing, sometimes it's all it takes.
What an inning. 5-2 Astros on the grand slam by Lowry. And now it's Correa batting. And a shot into left field. Correa's 2 for 4. The slam by Lowry gives the Astros 2 grand slams in this 3-game series.
Howie just gets out in front on this ball, and he knew it right away. You could see the reaction. Got it. And that'll put 4 runs on the board.
Second career slam.
A lot of fans in right field knew it instantly.
And now Paul Molitor comes out. What a moment for Jed Lowry. That's his 8th homer, gets him 24 runs batted in, and the Astros had had 3 previous slams, all by catchers, 2 by Conger, 1 by Castro, and Lowry lit up Minute Maid Park. We'll be right back. By Jed Lowry's grand slam, the second of his career. He had not hit a slam since 09 against Cleveland, October 4th of that year, and that absolutely set off that Houston bench.
You can't watch that too many times, can you? And by the way, Brownie, how about that for a good old-fashioned rally by the home team?
Yeah, a lot happened with 2 outs, right?
Don't undersell Altuve's little infield tapper for the base hit, that hustle and speed that enables the Astros to get a little deeper with Lowry to hit the slam.
Everything counted. Now Casey Fiend comes in, facing Evan Gattis, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. 51 games for Casey Fiend. 14 holds, a 3.74 ERA. Tremendous rally for the Astros, who just had been stymied through 6 2/3 innings. Gaddis takes. There's strike one to him. He's the 9th Astro to bat here in the 7th inning. Rasmus made the first out. Gomez singled. Gonzalez struck out. Then it was a Valbuena hit. And the pinch walk to Tucker. Then the infield RBI hit by Altuve. Then a grand slam. Now a Correa single. 5 straight Astros have reached base with 2 outs in the inning. Altuve's hit came on a 2-2 pitch, so down to the final strike of the inning. He reached and drove in the first run. Lowry ripped the 2-1 pitch for an exciting finish. 2-1 now for Casey Fiend. The Astros were 0 for 7 the first 6 innings with runners in scoring position, and now 2 for 2 at crunch time. This frame, 5 runs batted in. 3-1.
I don't mind some running game from Carlos Correa at any point during this at bat for Evan Gattis, but just kind of laying back for the moment.
With strike 2 and now has a full count. Casey Fiend was with the Astros in 2011. They released him. He had been in AAA Oklahoma City. Then the Twins picked him up, and that's ball 4. Six straight Astros have reached with 2 outs in the inning. Rasmus is the batter. He's 0 for 3. This Astros team so very unpredictable offensively. Flat for 6 innings and then they explode. It's been a wild and exciting ride with them this year. Strike to Rasmus. One thing has been demonstrated time after time by these Astros hitters. When it looks bleak, they sometimes have their best at bats late in games when they're down.
It's one of those games that could prove to be an igniter as well. Now, last night's game, tough one to lose. Altuve hit the ball beautifully on a line, and it turns out to be the final out, and it's just kind of tough to take. But this one can turn it.
Popped up foul. Let's take a look at Jed Lowry.
One swing. Prior to that swing, you're losing, and now you're winning. Yeah, that's how much it hurts, too.
Such a big game for both of these teams. And that provided a tremendous mood swing for both clubs. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Rasmus. Yeah, the comeback Astros have had some of their terrific finishes when they just haven't had much more room. Trailing late. Out to left center field. A high ride for Rasmus. Hicks is back for the catch. 10 Astros come to the plate in the 7th inning. 5 of them score. 4 on that one swing by Jed Lowry. 5-2 Houston. through, and he might sign that lightsaber after the game, after the grand slam, the second of his career. And now changes have been made by A.J. Hinch. And he pinch ran with Jake Marisnick for Valbuena. So you see Marisnick staying in to play left field. And Marwin Gonzalez moves from left field to first base. Max Stassi is the catcher. Conger came out for the pinch hitter Tucker. Dallas Keuchel goes to the mound, shooting for win number 17, now with his first lead of the day. Aaron Hicks with strike one. Keuchel now at 199 2/3 innings for the year. He's thrown 66%. First pitch strikes, gets a foul ball there. No balls and 2 strikes. 93 pitches from Dallas. "39th consecutive start of 6 innings or more. That's the longest active stretch in the majors. 1-2. A.J. Hinch has said it time after time to the media when asked about his team. They need to get 27 outs on us. That's rocked high to left field. And that one will get out. Home run number 3 for the Twins today comes from Hicks, his 9th, and they come back to trail by 2 now, 5-3.
Well, that was legit.
Yeah, that one left the bat at a pretty nice exit speed. 9 homers, 26 runs batted in for Hicks.
Take a look at this. Keuchel gets launched for the 3rd time today, and that pitch is not where Dallas wanted it.
Brian Dozier tries to bunt his way on after homering in the 4th. He's 1 for 3, and that's strike 1. 422-footer by Hicks. Pat Neshek is warming up for Houston, along with still the lefty Neil Kotz for the Twins. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jake Arrieta leads the majors in wins with 18 for the Cubs. Keuchel throws strike 2. He's trying to become the first 17-game winner in the American League. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes. He had a long wait on the bench. That was pitch number 100. Sometimes that will throw a pitcher off a little bit. Not that he minds watching his team bat around, sending 10 men to the plate.
No complaints forthcoming.
Strikeout of Dozier. That's strike 2 to Dozier. 2 balls, 2 strikes. But think about Dallas's day and how he gave up a couple of solo homers in the 4th and 5th inning, trailed 2-0 going to the home 7th. He's had to hold the line for a while to wait for this offensive support. 3-2. It's the 5th full count for Keuchel. He could be 13-0 at home this season. Up the middle to Altuve. He throws out Dozier, 1 out. Joe Mauer comes up.
A Gold Glove of Keuchel completely whiffed on what was a very tough play going as the ball went sharply by the mound, but kind of a panic reaction as the ball came by.
Yeah, he leads everybody in assists in Major League Baseball with 48 coming into this game. Mauer is 0 for 2 with a walk. That's ball 1. Keuchel is tied with Danny Darwin for the club record. 13 straight wins at home. since September 20th, 2014. In for a strike.
Has the good doc weighed in? Dr. Death?
Haven't heard from Dr. Death. You think he's even aware that he had the club record?
I think Danny checks in.
1-2.
He'll also check out.
Well, if he were here now with Nolan, Nolan would make him aware of it, right? He gave him that nickname. Swing and a miss, and the breaking pitch has been very effective. Now he fouled it. They got him back in the first inning, but that time Mauer got a little piece of it.
Just sweeping it and getting a little peek at Max Stassi behind the plate. He's got some nice technique. He keeps that glove very steady as he goes down and fills up the 5-hole.
2-2.
Good looking receiver. Disappointing year with the bat.
We'll be catching Mike Fiers tomorrow in Oakland. Struck him out. 11 strikeouts for Dallas.
Kick off your weekdays, or rather weekends, at Minute Maid Park with the best Friday night fireworks show in town, presented by Marathon Oil Corporation. The next Friday night fireworks, September 18th, when the Astros take on the A's. For more information, visit astros.com. That's /fireworks, or you can call 1-877-9-ASTROS.
Miguel Sano has struck out 3 times. Rolls that one off his foot out to third base. Strike one. Yankees beat the Rays 6-4 at Yankee Stadium. Ivan Nova going to 6-7, beating Chris Archer, who's 12-11. Andrew Miller got his 31st save. But Toronto is pounding Baltimore 9-3 in the bottom of the 8th inning, so it appears the Blue Jays will not give up any of their lead. 0-2 for Keuchel.
Boy, that's a good changeup all year long. That's the impact of this pitch. Just out in front and no way to wait. And then what it sets up, the changeup, is that fastball that you can come up out of the zone with.
Got him on strikes for the 4th time. 12 punch-outs for Dallas. Keuchel, 1 away from his career high. And a 5-3 Houston lead in the 8th. Well, it's been quite a day here at Minute Maid Park. Tough day for the Astros hitters until the bottom of the 7th inning when they exploded for 5. A grand slam of Jed Lowry, overcoming 3 solo homers by the Minnesota Twins today. And now it's 5-3 as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Luke Gregerson is getting loose for Houston while lefty Neil Kotz comes in for Minnesota. In 6 games on our AT&T call to the bullpen, Kotz has an ERA of 2.84 and he faces Carlos Gomez, who's 2 for 3. Meanwhile, the Angels are leading the Rangers 4-0 in the bottom of the 3rd in Anaheim. Gomez takes a look at it, and it's ball 1. Big cut there by Gomez, takes it to a 1-1 count. Trevor May did not retire a batter, gave up 3 hits, 3 runs. With 1 walk, no strikeouts. Casey Fiend had 1/3 of an inning, no hits, no runs, 1 walk. Blaine Boyer's working in the bullpen for the Twins right now. Kotz is pitcher number 4 for Paul Molitor. Inside, that makes it 2-1. Kotz worked a scoreless inning against the Astros in Minnesota last weekend. He's 34 years old. 3 balls and a strike. He had a big World Series against the Astros with the White Sox in 2005. Pitching in all of the games. He's from Illinois State. Gomez works a walk.
Our Whataburger, what a play is Jose Altuve's hustle that came in the 7th inning and led to the grand slam by Jed Lowry. This little ground ball is an out with the vast majority of guys going down the line, not with Altuve, as he speed and hustles it out. And again, sometimes it's just a little play like this that can lead to the big inning, and in this case certainly happened.
Marwin Gonzalez is 0 for 3. Jake Marisnick on deck as the throw goes over to first. Gomez has 6 steals as an Astro in 9 tries. In the National League with Milwaukee, he was 7 for 13. Broken bat looper, centered field. Buxton will not be able to make that catch. It's a looping single for Marwin Gonzalez. 2 on, nobody out.
Sometimes it takes a broken bat to get something to drop. Marwin picks that up. Right off the end of the bat. See it to that piece of wood.
Jake Marisnick with 2 men on, nobody out, comes up for the first time. He was a pinch runner for Luis Valbuena in the last inning. 234, 7 homers, 26 runs batted in for Jake. He's had 291 at bats. He has 4 sacrifice bunts this year. Max Stassi's on deck. He's a .409 career hitter against the Twins. Around to bunt and taking ball 1. Jake had a big night against Seattle Tuesday night, batting 9th with a homer and a single, going 2 for 3. Tremendous defensive player. Pops up the bunt back over the screen, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. The Twins have Plouffe, Hunter, and Escobar due up in the 9th. In that Rangers-Angels game, 4-0 Angels at the end of 3. Mike Trout hit an early home run, his 34th off Colby Lewis. He's driven in 2 so far. David Freese has returned to the lineup for the Angels. Angels are 5.5 behind the Astros. This is a big week coming up for them. The Astros will be playing them at their home next weekend. Marisnick takes a strike. 1-2 now. Angels will be playing the Dodgers actually in their next series. Marisnick looks at it. 2-2.
Kind of depicts how tough it is. If you're the Angels, you can be looking forward to the Astros coming in, but better watch out for those crosstown rivals.
Yes, sir. Texas will be in Seattle for a 4-game series starting tomorrow night. Gomez goes to third. That one is going to get out for a 3-run Marisnick homer. 8-3 Houston. Gomez took off. Marisnick, after failing to get a bunt down, hit a 3-run homer.
Sometimes the swing is so much better than the bunt.
Two home runs on the homestand for Jake Marisnick. That's number 8. He has 29 runs batted in.
It's nice to see Jake find it a little bit here. He's a fun guy. I think he's a real plus in terms of personality on this team, and defensively there's no question.
Ball 1 to Stassi. He went 1 for 3 Tuesday with an RBI. Max 1 for 4 since coming up from AAA Fresno. It's 2-0. So he gives Conger a few innings off today. Foul back. 2-1. The Astros, as we mentioned earlier, are hopeful of getting Jason Castro back. Perhaps around the middle of the month. Things are going well for Jason with his leg injury. Stassi looks and it's 3-1. A.J. Hinch uses all of his players. It's a challenge to keep everybody sharp, certainly with the expanded roster here in September, but he has been making moves. And they paid off in that 7th inning. Lifted to shallow right. Dozier out. Torrey Hunter underneath. 1 out.
Don't be so mean, Jake. Gets that pitch right near the inside corner and just lets it fly.
Seven of the Astros' 8 runs in this game are on long balls, and they've only hit 2. A Lowry slam, a Marisnick 3-run shot. Pitching change here. 8-3 Houston. Back in a moment. Astros. They got a 7th-inning grand slam from Jed Lowry, scoring 5 in that frame. Now they've responded with 3 more here in the 8th. And they're pulling away from the Twins, leading 8-3 with Blaine Boyer coming in. He's pitcher number 5. And 56 games, 2-4 with 16 holds. Asha, they've used him an awful lot this year.
That they have. 9-year veteran now. And that career ERA over 4.3. But he's done well this year at 2.68, as you see.
Jose Altuve with 3 more hits today. Has had a nice homestand, going 9 for 23 to the tune of 391. Wide of third. And that's strike 1. 8 runs on 11 hits for Houston. 3 runs on 5 hits for Minnesota. No errors today. Astros can leave town with a 3-3 homestand. That certainly is not close to the winning percentage they've had at home for the season, but nonetheless, that's the best they can do. No balls, 2 strikes.
Well, at the same time, when you're the team with the lead, playing 500 ball doesn't kill you. You stay away from those bad series.
Exactly. In the dirt, 1-2. They started the year 1-2 against Cleveland here in a 3-game homestand to open the season. Since then, they have not had a losing homestand. They had a 3-3 homestand, the second homestand of the year against Oakland and the Angels. So this would be the first since then that has not been a winning homestand for them. That's how good they've been here. Altuve's down on strikes. 2 outs.
Well, now for our Mako big hit of the game. Let's take our guesses. Who do you think it might be? I see Jed Lowry. Really? Grand slam. Yes, sir. Part of that 5-run 7th inning. And that took the Astros from behind 2-1 to ahead 5-2. And that qualifies as large.
Now Jed pulls one foul. There's strike 1 to him. Well, Lowry hit a home run last night in the 9th inning. The Astros trailed at the time 3-1. So he brought a 5-game hitting streak into this one. He looks at that one. Had a pair of doubles Wednesday night against Seattle. He is really rounded into top form, and it figured that it would take some time after that thumb surgery. One ball and 2 strikes. Now Chad Qualls has begun to throw in the Astros bullpen. Earlier it was Luke Gregerson, but now with a 5-run lead, it's Qualls. Upstairs to Lowry, 2-2. Astros have 7 affiliates who have clinched a postseason berth this season in the minors. That's a club record. 5 of them have yet to start postseason play, but Greenville has already won its first postseason series. They beat Kingsport last night 3-1 to advance to the Appalachian League Championship Series for the 2nd time in the last 3 years. So the Astros organization has a chance to make the clean sweep if the big league club can go into postseason play. Out to left field. Hicks backing, Hicks catching it. And in the 8th, the Astros get the 3-run bomb from Marisnik to stretch it out. They lead it 8-3 through 8. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. By HEB, no store does more than my HEB. And by the new Stewart Cadillac, luxury and style with downtown convenience. See us at stewartcadillac.com. It's been quite a day here. 37,628 the paid attendance at Minute Maid Park on Star Wars Day, and the Astros have launched. In the 7th inning, a grand slam from Lowry. In the 8th inning, a 3-run homer from Marisnik. Now it's Chad Qualls coming in for the 9th.
Launched in the best of ways, by the way. Chad Qualls now in his 51st appearance, rather. Left-hand hitters have been destroyed by Chad this year. That good sinker and the slider combination.
Trevor Plouffe leads it off in the Twins' 9th inning. He is 0 for 2 with a walk. That's strike one. Dallas Keuchel in 8 innings allowed the Twins 5 hits, 3 runs, walking 2, fanning 12. He's in line for win number 17, which would put him atop the American League. No balls, 2 strikes for Chad Qualls. The Astros with a chance to square their season series with the Twins at 3 games each. A chance to go 3-3 on this homestand and get win number 75 of the year. Hit into left field. Plouffe is aboard with a leadoff single. Cy Young candidates in the American League: Dallas Keuchel, we know, Sonny Gray, David Price, and Chris Archer.
Yeah, that's great competition, but again, for Dallas Keuchel, pitcher of the month 3 times this year. 17 wins if he's able to pick one up today. Those are going to really jump out on him. Again, he started the day leading in ERA. So there's nothing that Dallas has done that would hurt his chances.
Inside to Torrey Hunter. There's ball 1. Hunter's 2 for 3. Angels still lead the Rangers 4-0, bottom of the 4th inning. Chop foul, and it's 1-1. So the Astros, if they get this situation that is underway right now with the Angels beating the Rangers to conclusion, with the Angels winning it, and they take care of things here, would go back to a 3-game lead, and that would be 2 in the loss column if the Rangers did lose and the Astros did win. Liner to left. That one is in for a hit. Hunter going for second base. Plouffe to third on a double. 2 on, nobody out with a 5-run lead.
This top of the 9th inning makes that big swing by Jake Marisnik look like an awfully big one for the team.
Yeah, that opportunity he had to play add-on has given Chad Qualls some working room. But now the Twins come back with Escobar coming to the plate. He homered in the 5th inning, batting right-handed. Now the switch hitter moves around to the other side of the plate. 1 for 3 in this game. Down toward the bottom of the order, Kurt Suzuki's on deck. Luke Gregerson has gotten up again in the Astros pen. Balls delivers, and it's ball 1 to Escobar. Toronto pounded Baltimore 10-4 today. Maintained its game-and-a-half lead on the Yankees, who won. Foul back, it's 1-1. Miami knocked off the Mets 4-3, while Washington beat Atlanta 8-4. Washington moves a game closer with that big series coming up with the Mets. And they've just sliced 1 game off the Mets lead. It goes down to 4 games. Gomez in center. Plouffe tagging at third. There's the catch for out number 1. Plouffe coming to the plate. The throw goes to third. It's 8-4 on the sac fly by Escobar. His 44th run batted in. And Suzuki will be up.
Talking the other day about how Carlos Gomez appears to be one of those guys who loves to throw. Maybe show off the arm a little bit. Scenario right there where there really was no need, but he just cut it loose.
Suzuki's 0 for 3. Tyler Clippard got the blown save and the loss for the Mets in Miami. Justin Bour homered off him. That's ball 1. Interesting that the Mets and the Astros both have won 75 games, and they both have been major surprises. They came into the league together, as you know, in '62 in the National League at the time. Two balls, no strikes. Two and one. With the Yankees winning today, the Twins are in danger of falling 2.5 behind. Well, no, they're a game and a half behind Texas, so it's a different situation because the Yankees are leading in the top wild card race, so never mind that remark. That's a fly ball to shallow right. Altuve over. Marwin gets out of his way. Altuve makes the catch. And it's out number 2.
Stay tuned after the game as our crew breaks down all the action from today's game, plus interviews from the clubhouse and a whole lot more. That's on the Astros postgame show presented by Houston Methodist.
Now the crowd is standing. Chad Qualls headed for the mound. Jed Lowry calls him over. And we'll get a pinch hitter. Looks like Kenny Vargas is going to pinch hit for Buxton. Vargas had a walk-off solo homer in the bottom of the 9th inning against the Cardinals back in June. Big time power. Vargas, a switch hitter, has a .248 average, 5 homers, 15 runs batted in. Brent Strom will go out to talk. 161 major league at bats for Vargas this year. He's 0 for 5 pinch hitting and has hit much better from the right side of the plate. 370 right-handed, 187 left-handed. Back to that wild card situation regarding the Twins, they would still be a game and a half out of that second wild card spot if Texas loses and they lose. So Vargas gets ready. Runner at second. 2 outs, 9th inning. Astros repositioning there. Okay, they didn't have a left fielder for a minute there. Now they do. Jake Marisnick was over there in foul territory.
Carrying the shift thing a little too far.
That's ball 1 to Vargas. Gomez was trying to run over to left center and try to cover it all until Marisnick could get back to his position. That's a little panic time. We would have seen his range factor had the ball been hit to left. 1-1 the count. Vargas is 25 years old from Puerto Rico, and he didn't do anything with that pitch.
Really enjoy what I'm seeing from Max Stassi as a receiver. Not just when he's blocking pitches, very smooth receiving. Well, that is picture perfect.
So exciting for a young guy as a September call up to get a chance to play in meaningful games. He came just a little bit earlier than planned because of the Castro injury. Three balls and a strike. In fact, Stassi arrived on the scene August 29th. So he beat that September call up by a few days. Bouncer, and the shift will not lead to an out on this one. That's an RBI single. And a second run comes home to make it 8-5 here in the ninth inning. Meanwhile, we update that Angels score. It's now 5-0 Angels over Texas in the bottom of the fourth, and A.J. Hinch has come out to make a change. Chad Qualls leaving the game. Luke Gregerson coming in. 8-5 game with 2 outs and a runner at first. Back in a moment. Santana running for Kenny Vargas. Gregerson at 54 games, 7-3. Ash 25 of 30 for saves. He's been up and down in the bullpen, so now it's go time for him.
Would love to take save number 26 onto the plane and into the Bay Area here this evening. Got a solid season. That 1-0-0 whip tells you a lot.
Now, last night he ran into problems. Minnesota winning at 3-2. Gregerson was the loser, giving up 2 hits and 2 runs in 1 inning. On the 2-run triple by Rosario, it was almost caught near the right field line by George Springer. Aaron Hicks is the batter. Hicks 1 for 4, a homer.
That's a good looking pitch.
Dozier's on deck.
Why does this get missed?
The hard downward action, maybe that's why he missed it. Little tap goes foul, first base side. 1-1. Gregerson was also close to ending that 9th inning last night. He had 2 outs and 1 man on, runner at first, and then he hit Trevor Plouffe. And Rosario on an 0-2 count drilled the 2-run triple, almost caught by Springer. So it was Gregerson on the mound in a 1-1 game and really close to sending it to the bottom of the 9th, tied in 1. Runner takes off and there's a foul ball. 1-2, and Santana will go back to first base. Very exciting day here at Minute Maid Park. The fans have really warmed to the occasion. They've come out, many wearing their Star Wars costumes. They've jammed Keiko's Corner. They have loaded up on the brand new orange t-shirts, and they have seen a come from behind Astros team. Fly ball right field. Colby Rasmus over. And that will do it. The Astros take 2 of 3 from the Minnesota Twins. They get a grand slam from Jed Lowry to bring them from behind in the bottom of the 7th. Jake Marisnick with an add-on 3-run homer in the 8th. Luke Gregerson gets the save for Dallas Keuchel, is now a 17-game winner.